Welcome to the Bachelor course of Physical Education. Let us talk about the remaining execution tournaments in Kho-Kho. As we know that the Kho-Kho is a game of speed and nerve control developed as a rural support of India. Running skill. As a chaser, the aim of every player in the team should be to chase hard and put out as many opponents as possible, and as a runner, every player must perfect the skill of escaping from chaser's touch and sustaining in a game for as long as possible. Running in Kho-Kho is no ordinary running requiring speed. It involves quick running and twisting, changing directions, dodging, pole turning, etc. Nor is it an individual affair. It underscores the need for a highly focused and coordinated team effort. In running, there are individual skills as well as team skills which need to be mastered by the players. Entering the court. Entering the court, whether at the start or any moment when the preceding batch or defenders is out, and positioning oneself thereon is of paramount importance from the viewpoint of gaining an upper hand over the chasers. At the commencement, one of the runners of the first batch of 3 should position himself in the middle of a court behind the first and the 4 seated chasers. The other 2 may keep to the poles on each side of the court. When the last of the first batch in the defenders is put out, the second batch should enter the field of play and scatter to different directions simultaneously, with the active chasers giving kho to another chaser. The same principle shall stand good for every batch of runners that follows positioning on the post. A defender should stand at the post in such a manner that he can monitor all the movements and maneuvers of the chasers and plan out his own strategy of keeping alive in the game. He should stand adequately away from the midline with one hand on the pole top and constantly guard against fake or late kho being given by the chaser to beat him at the post. Running. Some runners may constantly be on the run and have the capability to run pole to pole without getting tired, but this does not always pay. The expert have recommended a few good running skills for defenders in Kho-Kho, such as chains, oval running, etc. Single chain. In this, a defender runs from one point to another point and even the post in zigzag manner behind the back of each successive chaser. In this endeavor, he may have to look behind over his shoulder to see whether or not the kho is given. His speed of running should be according to the chaser's movement along the central lane. If the kho is given, the runner should move fast. If not, he may slow down. He may change his direction according to the chaser's movement. A skilled defender does not need go to the post but come out in the open field as a convenient place and again get back into the chain to repeat the track. He also does not normally complete the chain from behind the 7th and the 8th chaser, but runs to the post straight from the 7th lane. It is important for the runner to keep as close to the back of the seated chaser as possible and change direction and speed more or less every moment. Double chain. In this technique, the runner runs from post to post, crossing the central lane only twice behind the seated chaser at 3rd and the 6th squares. Several routes are said to have developed over the years in double chain system of running without much change in the basic fiber. Two seated chasers are in a loop that is formed when a defender traverses the route. However, the perfect, almost flawless, or widely developed common route is 3, 6, 9 or post. The defender crosses the central lane twice from behind the seated chasers 3rd and 6th while moving towards the post. He repeats the route from opposite end unless the chasers force him to change it. He goes to the post after entering from behind the 3rd seated chaser from the post. Extra single chain ring is necessary to go to the post if other than 3, 6, 9 route is played. Ring game. In all the other running techniques, the runner has to run continuously and get tired soon. In the ring game, the post is towards the sidelines. This may be followed when the chasers give early kho. When a kho is given to the chaser who is sitting in the first square, the runner will take 2 sideways steps towards side line parallel to the cross lane facing the active chaser. When the active chaser runs towards sideline, the runner takes 2 sideways steps parallel to the central lane. When the active chaser follows him, the runner takes steps further facing the chaser, crosses the central lane behind the chaser who is facing the active chaser. The path is continuous on the other side or on the reverse side in the form of a ring according to the movement of the active chaser and how the kho is given. Dodging. Apart from chasing and running, dodging is the very essence of Kho-Kho. The players practice 3 types of dodging: back dodge, front dodge and the dodge round the post. In back dodge, the defender keeps his back towards the active chaser, focus on his movements. As he finds the chaser close to him, he suddenly dodges to either side, forcing the chaser to commit a foul or to helplessly give kho to the chaser nearby out of sheer helplessness. A successful runner never reveals his intentions and dodges at the spur of the moment. A front dodge is applied when a runner positions himself approximately 2 feet inside the outer line and faces the active chaser. When the active chaser comes straight to tag him, he fixes his body, pretending to be moving to one direction but moves to the other direction, thus dodging the chaser. Looking straight into the eyes of the chaser is the important factor in a successfully front dodge by the runner. The defender, standing 3 to 4 feet away from and with one hand on the post, executes the dodge round the post. The runner watches the movements of the oncoming chasers. As he approaches the square near the post and pretends to give Kho or actually gives late Kho, the runner makes a dash towards the opposite direction, keeping himself 4-5 feet away from the post. Guidelines for the defenders. The defenders should always be alert and keep focus of attention narrowed down on the chaser's movement all the time. They need to remember, listen to the Kho before deciding the movement route further, avoid simple chain defense near the pole, the last 3 chasers. Do not play single chain defense from the face of a seated chaser, reduce speed just while crossing or after crossing the central lane, avoid standing close to the post, watch closely the active chaser on the last cross lane when at post, feinting after turning around. Past is useful only when an active chaser is almost on your heels. Do not increase the speed of the chase by your running. See, the active chaser is not on your heels. It is dangerous to go to the post from the back of the last seated chaser. Prevail over the judgment Kho by watching the chasers calmly and coolly. Do not show your back in game in forward defense. Avoid too much lift of the legs and use shorter steps to avoid tapping. Start playing game in forward defenses if trapped in 2 on post position or the one on the post must run away before the second defender is pushed towards the post, and as soon as the second seated chaser from the post gets Kho. Check at the back after each crossing of the central lane. Change your place, be safe if you are not chased. Avoid action by officials. Refrain from showing resentment in any manner over the decisions of officials. Important guidelines for the chasers. Success of the chasing mission does not simply depend on the skill level of the chasers, but on the intelligence, ingenuity and mental ability with which skills are used at a given moment of time. Therefore, the chasers should always keep the following in their mind. Not a single player, but the entire team should chase. Focus should be on the defender and their weaknesses. Do not wait or be eager or impatient for it. Shoulder line and not the head movement decide chaser's direction. Thus, shoulder line should be according to the strategy of a chaser. Cover to avoid dupe turned. It helps to put forward that leg towards the end where the heart is directed. Put out if you can, but reducing the distance from the defender is a must. Speed for chase is an asset, not an ultimate goal. Hold the post in both hands. If a defender can be put out by chasing, do not resort to touching post. Do not force 2 defenders of sound game in 4 defense towards the post. On indication of foul, it is safe to take the indicated direction and give a perfect kho quickly. Minor games, lead up games. Numerous minor games that involves running, chasing, tagging, touching, etc. may be used to strengthen various basic skills of Kho-Kho. The playing group may play as a single unit or get divided in two teams to make the game more competitive and boisterous. Circle Kho. The two teams having even numbers of players stand in two concentric circles. A team R chaser and a B team runners sits all in the inner circle alternatively facing inward outward as in regular Kho-Kho. The runner stands scattered within space between the two circles. On signal, chasers facing outward start chasing the runners. The chasers may give Kho any of the sitting chaser to enable him to touch the scattered runners. After designated time or after all runners have put out, teams switch roles. Standing Kho. Odd numbers of players stand in pairs on two concentric circles facing inward. Two players are designated as runners and chasers. On signal, the runner runs and the chaser chases. The runner may run in any direction and give Kho to any player standing on the other circle. As it happens, the player in front of the player getting Kho turns and the chaser pursues him. The player getting Kho moves forward to occupy the place vacated by the new runner. On signal, the runner and the chaser may switch roles in between to make the game more competitive. Seasons and the tournaments in Kho-Kho. The following championships are organized for the game: National Championships, Junior National, Sub-Junior National Championships, School Championship, Mini School Championship, Primary Mini School Championship, National Women Championship, All India Inter-University Championship and Federation Match. Organization involved with the support in India. The primary support body for this game is called the Kho-Kho Federation of India. It has its branches in all the states and it has been conducted mini, junior and open national championships for both sexes in many parts of India. Conclusion: the effort of expanding Kho-Kho in the world of traditional sports making India look beyond cricket and has served as a great way of keeping up the morale of those interested in it. Events like Kho-Kho can be promoted in schools and at the corporate level with its lessons in team spirits, alertness, discipline, obedience and coordination. Through KKPL, Kho-Kho Premier League has interacted with not so big incentive for the winners. Youngsters are more than happy with this newfound attentions. It is definitely not a grand celebration, but its very beginning is nothing less than a fest for admirers. The contest between the chasers and defenders is as good as a wildlife predator and its prey, the only difference being in the hunger for food and a passion for victory. Thank you very much. That's all about this lesson. Have a great day ahead.